Hello my gorgeous plant people, welcome back to Reading Mindfully. My name is Yana, and today we're talking about my top 5 picks for the month of August. So let's get into it. Alright, so like I said, today we're talking about my top 5 picks for August, and I might say, Yana, why are you wearing the same outfit? Or you might be saying, I'm seeing a lot of you lately. And the reason is I have to pump out some videos, hopefully still quality videos, because I'm probably starting my second job by the time you're seeing this. So I just want to make sure that in working these 2 jobs that I'm still doing right by you guys and giving you guys good content. And so I might have to go ahead and record some videos, you know, bam, bam, bam. But like I said, let's talk about my top 5 picks for August. Y'all, it was kind of hard picking my top 5 because honestly, my plants have been doing so well and they have just been growing like a charm. Other note, I might have to start to sweat in this video because I had to turn off my AC in order to make these videos, and so that way you guys can hear, because when I have my AC on, it's not as clear. But just let me know in the comment section below if this is clear, because I did do a couple of videos where I had my AC on and it was making that noise. But so that's another reason why I'm wearing this shirt. But my first plant of the month is this why do I keep doing that? This Aglaonema. And so this is the most beautiful Aglaonema I have seen in my entire life. I got this at Garden Gateway Center in Hockessin, Delaware, and it is just so beautiful. And I mentioned this plant in my new babies video, my new plant additions, and I was asking you guys what Aglaonema it was, and I think a lot of us have come to the conclusion that this is actually 2 separate Aglaonemas, and maybe both Aglaonemas were too small to sell, you know, on their own, so they combined them to go ahead and be able to sell it as a full plant. So what I think this plant is, one person said that this might be the Aglaonema Legacy, and after looking at some pictures, I think that's what this plant is. The Legacy does have a lot of the light green, the yellow, the highlighter pink, like all the neon colors. I have been looking just to compare, and I do think that this side is the Legacy. And then someone said that this might be the Sumatra, and I think that's what this plant is. It does have that like cherry red or chocolate underneath, and then it has the really light green. Someone else said that this is the chocolate Aglaonema. It is not the chocolate Aglaonema, because I actually did just purchase the chocolate. If you saw my several plants I want to try again, I was saying I wanted to try the chocolate. So I did actually purchase the chocolate, and I actually got it the other day. And I'll insert a picture of that one, but it's not this side. This side is not the chocolate, only because the leaves on here are a lot greener than the chocolate. The chocolate is a lot darker, and it is just subtle differences of this and the chocolate. So I think what I've come to the conclusion of is this is the Sumatra and this is the Legacy. But otherwise, it is such a beautiful Aglaonema. I've never seen anything like it. And so if you guys want to try to recreate this Aglaonema, maybe try buying a Legacy and a Sumatra, and maybe it'll turn out like this. But this is my top this is my top plant for sure for August. I wasn't even planning on buying a plant when I saw that one, but when I saw it, I was like, listen, if I leave this at the store, I'm a fool. I am a fool. And yes, I can call myself a fool. The second plant is this gorgeous beauty. This is my Calathea orbifolia, and as you can see, she is growing. She is doing her own thing and living her best life, and I'm telling you, she is just enjoying it. This is the most gorgeous plant ever, and I was like commenting on someone's video and they said that they were fangirling that I was commenting on my picture or commenting on their video. But listen, I fangirl over my plants all the time. I fangirl over everyone else's pictures and plants. So this one I definitely fangirled, and I've been fangirling over this plant. It's putting out so much growth. There's a new leaf coming there. There's this one here. And there's some growing down here. There's just so much growth happening on this plant. It is doing so well. I do have some crispy bits on the plant, but you can see that it's still such a gorgeous plant, even if it does has imperfections. But yeah, this is just such a beautiful plant, and the fact that it can grow in lower lighting conditions just makes me love it even more, because then I don't have to go out of my way to provide perfect conditions for the plant. Yes, I still give the plant tap water. No, I don't buy distilled. No, I don't collect rainwater. Buying distilled is too expensive. I'm lazy. I don't feel like lugging jugs of water to my home every month, especially if I'm watering my plants twice, maybe 3 times a week sometimes. Rainwater, it just takes too long to collect. I have to leave the bucket outside. Then I have to worry about spiders being in there, because then you're collecting water, the water's sitting. You have to worry about mosquitoes, so I don't do that either. Filtered water, it would just take too much, to be honest. I do have a nice size Brita filter. However, I drink from the Brita filter. My friend drinks from the Brita filter. Sage drinks from the Brita filter. So then if I have all my prairie plants drink from the Brita filter, I would just be filling it up constantly. So that's a no-go as well. And I probably have around 20-ish varieties of prairie plants, so we're not doing that either. So yeah, they still get tap water, low to medium light, and they've been growing phenomenally. The next plant, you guys are gonna be sick of seeing this plant, but this is my bird's nest fern. I don't know why I blanked, but this plant is just so gorgeous. Like, do I even need to say anything about this plant? Honestly, do I need to say anything? And you know, the most interesting part is that it's put out this new frond, and look at this frond. It has like a fin on it, like it's a mermaid's tail. And so when I saw this leaf, I was like, what in the actual? Like, what in the actual? Look at that. Like, that just made me love this plant even more, like, because it's just quirky now. It just doesn't have regular fronds, but it also has a fin now. But yeah, this plant is so gorgeous, so shiny. I don't have to shine this plant. It grows like this. It just comes out super glossy. This one can grow in lower light, but I tend to give it like medium-ish light, and it just continues to put out a lot of growth. I do have some brown bits. I don't know if you can see, like there's some browning on the leaves, but as you can see, it's still doing pretty well. This is the one fern that I would definitely recommend to beginners, because it is more graceful and forgiving if you do not water it on time. But yeah, this is definitely like the best fern in my entire collection, and I'm never gonna give it up. Never. You guys are like, that's so extra. The next plant in my collection is one that I just repotted. This is my green rubber tree. You see it still needs watering, like I just filmed that video. But this is my green rubber tree. And the reason why I picked this one is because this one, when I first put it outside, this plant was shorter than this plant here. This plant, when I first put it outside, it was like here. So maybe about the same size, but it was like right here. And it just exploded during the summer. and it's just done so well. If you can see the size of the leaf it was before I put it outside, this is the size. This is the size of the leaf that I got before I put it outside. Now you can see what kind of leaves I'm getting with it being outside. Like it just like Super Saiyan charged, Super Saiyan grew, like whatever. It just had the most crazy growth spurt. But like look at the size difference. Like that's like double or triple the size. I can bring it back. But see how this big leaf is? So this plant has just done so well. I haven't had to do like anything to it besides dust the leaves every now and then, but it has just done so well. And now that it has a friend, it's gonna be a much fuller, happy plant, because you know plants are happy when they have friends. But yeah, I'm just so proud of this plant. Like I said, my rubber trees do really well outside because rubber trees really do like high light. They enjoy the high light more than anything, and yeah, that's what they like the most. And the last plant is a plant that you also would have seen in my last video. It is the philodendron ring of fire. Look at how she grows. She is beautiful. Yeah, I'm not a singer. That's why I didn't go into that career path, but look at her. She's beautiful. Like I said in my last video, the sun did this, and made her, I don't know, stick out. I don't know. She grabs people's attention. Is she grabbing your attention? I did make a huge boo-boo with this plant when I first started growing it. If you can see on the older leaves, these coloring here on the edges, that's not variegation. That is rust and like damage that I did, because when I first had this plant, I was giving all my plants, trying to get bump up the humidity. So I had this plant near a humidifier, and the water kept sitting on the leaves and it wasn't drying, because I can't remember if I had my fan circulating, but the water sat on the leaves and did this damage. And if you can see, it did that to a couple of the leaves. And there's one leaf here that it happened to. You can't see that. This leaf here, you can see that one, it happened to that one too. And so I was doing research, and some people said to use like a copper solution, like a copper spray. I didn't want to really do that because I didn't know how that was going to affect the plant. So what I did instead was I just stopped spraying the plant. I stopped misting. I stopped having it near my humidifier. I just backed off, and one by one I noticed that the leaves stopped coming in with stopped growing and developing that rust on the leaves. Now every once in a while I'll see like little dots, but that's it. And so the newer leaves don't have all that on there. So that's when I learned my lesson. That's when I knew that I needed to stop misting my plants, needed to stop having them sit so close to the humidifier, because they really don't like to stay wet. There are some leaves that do not like to stay wet, and they will do these kind of things. And this could have gotten worse had I not caught it. A lot of people say just to cut the leaves off, like I said, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to see if I could save it some other way, and so that's what I did. And what I did to get this beautiful leaf, I just took it outside and let Mother Nature do her thing. She wanted to come out with an all coral salmon orange leaf, and so that's what happened. The only little bit of green is in this veining in the middle here, but that's the only green. I don't know if it's gonna fade. I don't think it's gonna fade because there's no green on the leaf. Like normally this plant comes out with just the section of variation. And so I don't really know what's going to happen with this leaf, honestly. There's another one coming here. Something really wonky is happening with this leaf. I'm really curious to see what's happening with this one, but this one is also going to be very bright. But there is some green on this one. From what I can see, there is some green, which is good because I don't want all my leaves to start coming in green or orange. But this does, like I said in my last video, give me caramel marble vibes because some of those leaves do come in with strong amounts of variegation. And so if you have like a ring of fire caramel marble, I would suggest giving the plant more light so you can get more variegation and you see what the plant does. The only thing I need to do with this plant now is to water it and give it a stake and watch it grow. But again, here's my ring of fire. This plant I have been looking at every day because I'm just like, I cannot believe how beautiful she is. But can you? She has gotten so big so fast. But yeah, so those are all my plants for the month of August. Like I said in the beginning, all my plants grew so much and looked so good. It was kind of hard for me to choose what plant was my favorite for August. And to be honest, I already have some plants lined up for September that I'm just like, oh, you look so good. But I never thought I'd be that person whose plant would change every month. I think even just last month I was like, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this because I don't think it's going to change. But let's be honest, if a plant grows or tanks, my opinion does change. And so I might just keep continuing to do this, honestly, and you guys will just get to hear me ramble and talk about my plant babies, and yeah, all will be well. I'm also going to do like a summer recap, or like a what did one of you guys said to do, like a thrive, like top thriving or overperformers and underperformers. So that one's coming up. I did film it, but I was all over the place, y'all wouldn't have wanted to watch that. So I'm going to refilm that one so you guys can see what did the best this summer. And so yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, and watching my videos. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.